Hey, didn't see you there. Welcome in. Today we talk about the top meme cards from each expansion. After I very nicely received the exact same comment for like, I don't know how many weeks straight, I thought it might be time to actually follow up on that. So today we will take a look at all the different expansions. We get like 24 sets or something in the bottom left corner of your collection manager. We will talk about the best meme card from each of them. Now keep in mind, a list of best cards is always subjective, meaning if you don't agree with that, I hate you and you're dead to me. But before we dabble into the action, here's a word from me, I guess, because we don't have a sponsor. Hey, we stream on Twitch. Maybe you want to check that out at some point. We're playing a bunch of new decks right now. It's kind of fun. So maybe you want to stop by. Maybe you want to like because it's free. Maybe you want to sub because it turns out 53% of you aren't subbed. Maybe you just want to eat some dinner. You never know. Let's start with the Hall of Fame. My personal favorite meme card from the Hall of Fame is Galvin Makatork. Not just because you can't get the card in golden anymore, which is really stupid. You only get the card in golden when you participated in certain things in 2013, but also because nobody knows what the inventions are that he can summon. One of them is called Poltrizer, this one, which then makes it so that a random minion, even the card itself, is going to be a chicken. Isn't that good? I just thought the idea is cool that you have something that summons an awesome invention, and it's completely unique to that specific card because nothing else summons an invention. Then in Exormus you get Anubar. Reason why I picked that is there are a bunch of stupid combos which you can use this card for when you play against a friend or an NPC. For example, you could give a dead minion back to your hand. You can make a bunch of glitches and stupid things using that. And I thought it's kind of fun. It's not just a normal meme, but the card is so bad that it's only used to make things happen in the game that it's not supposed to. Exormus doesn't really offer too many meme cards, but GVG does. And my favorite meme card from GVG is Tree of Life. For exactly 3 reasons. Number 1, really cool animation. Number 2, if you cast Tree of Life, you don't die. Number 3, there used to be a Tavern Brawl in which you summon a random minion based on the cost of the spell that you cast. And if you use Tree of Life, while you have an Arcanine on the field, you might summon a random Mal'Ganis, then you survive and the opponent dies. Arcanine into Tree of Life. Such a beautiful combo. The card overall sees no play, and it's really bad, but I like the flavor so much. And I would like to see cards like that, like cards that have flavor and good design, more often. Blackrock Mountain with my boy Major Domo. I crafted him in golden. I used a bunch of combos with him. Did multiple OTKs. I gave it to my opponent. I even once evolved my opponent's minion into this guy. And then I played Major Domo. So he copied that. And then I killed Major Domo. And then I killed my own Major Domo. And then I hit faces of 1 and 5. One of my favorite moments that I ever had in the game. You can play it against NPCs. You can play it against other players. You can use that in Treachery. I think it's a great guy. What isn't too great is the entire TGT expansion because TGT sucks. But Void Crusher, that's a great meme. Let me tell you why. Inspire is one of the worst, if not the worst mechanic they ever made. Probably overkill and Inspire on the same level of bad, as well as Joust. So just having Inspire on a minion already makes it bad. And then the effect is destroy a random minion for each player. Because it reads random, you can't even target it, and the card can kill itself. Why does the card exist? I have no idea. But when anyone summons that randomly, maybe through Evolve or Devolve, and they don't know how to react to that, they usually misplay. It's kind of fun to see. In League of Explorers, I personally picked Eerie Statue because it's the joke of a 4-mana 7/7 before the original 4-mana 7/7 came out. So it pretty much told you what would happen or what could happen, but you wouldn't believe it. So for this does not have Overload, it can only attack if it's the only minion on the field. So in short, it can't attack. So you can silence that, which also means you cannot just wear no glasses and keep on talking and leave this in the video, but also play Purify and other stupid stuff in Priest. So you have Silence Priest. Eerie Statue is so bad. I like it. Next, I picked Shadowcaster. Mainly because Dane used to play Shadowcaster and Bran and go infinite with that and Rogue. I like to think back to that time in Hearthstone where that was actually possible and you didn't die on turn 4. Next to me is Wicked Witch Doctor, because back then totems were not that good. And when you played something like Totemic Might to make a totem deck, that was really bad. Right now, if you play Totemic Might and Totemic Surge, as well as the Axe and even Shaman, that's really broken. Turns out 0-cost spells are 0 mana, and that means you can cast all of them immediately. Always, and that's broken. But Wicked Witch Doctor not just looks sick, is basically the avatar. It was also a card that was kinda useful, but not really. Like Totem Shaman wasn't that good, it was more like Tunnel Trog into Totem Golem that was pretty broken and 4-mana 7/7. But Wicked Witch Doctor, that was a fun card to play. Reminded me of Violet Teacher, which used to play in Rogue and Druid. Next, Unlicensed Apothecary. You can play this and die. You can play it and give it to your opponent, and then he dies. Or number 3, you can disenchant it. This is pretty much the same reasoning as Major Domo for me. You can just use it as a meme condition. For example, if you play it on an empty board and you also play Mad Summoner, you give it to your opponent, they take 30 damage. And doing that combo is pretty satisfying. So maybe you want to give that a try. Then we got Giant Anaconda. Now there used to be a deck called Anaconda Mechathun Druid, which actually got to rank 1 legend, I think, by Tyler in 2017 or 2018. What he did in there was he played Stampeding Raw for 6 mana to summon your Giant Anaconda to then rush into something to summon Mechathun and then use Naturalize. And that actually worked in High Legend. Now Anaconda sees no play anywhere because the card is really bad. But I always like to think back to those moments where meme decks used to be in rank 1 legend. And you could actually play that and didn't die to Demon Hunter on turn 4 or 5. And because there was a niche deck built around an epic, and that's usually pretty fun. Then I select the Blackguard, and that's only because I personally think the card is broken, but nobody ever plays that because Heal Paladin sucks. But if Heal Paladin and the entire healing package would be better, this card would be really good. I also once made a video called Infinite Loops in Hearthstone almost a year ago. I think it's my second most watched video. And in there I found a combo in which you can basically go infinite. You can create an infinite loop using Blackguard. And this card, as well as many other epic cards, usually have such a unique effect that they never see play, but they technically could if some things change. You know, like Cataclysm in Warlock is pretty bad, but if you play Cataclysm and Mechathun, then the card is really good because you win the game. And if there's like 1 or 2 more heal cards that actually make sense with that, maybe you play Blackguard. Next we got a Hunter card, and that is Crushing Wards. There is Betrayal, there's Meteor, and they're Crushing Wards. I guess there's also Combustion now for Mage. They're really just a handful of cards in which your opponent has to play around that specific effect, or they get punished for it. The card animation in Golden is great, flavors on point. You might want to play this in Spiteful Hunter, and even then you probably don't. You can play it using Zul'jin. I like this a lot. Next one, Black Hole Gunfire. Damn, this card is bad. Unless you play either A, Patron, B, a really stupid OTK where you use Bladestorm, or C, you just get it randomly and then your opponent never trades into it. I think this minion should just A, be a mech because it's a gun tower, just make it a mech. And number 2, it should be able to attack. But for memes, maybe you want to play Bouncing Blade and a couple of those. This is great. It's pretty much your Cannon Barrage, but worse. Next we got Augmented Alec, and that is because I like Plot Twist Warlock, and you can shuffle multiple copies of stupid minions. You can even play, for example, Yark, and then you use Plot Twist and Alec, and you just copy the cards in your hand over and over, which could be Plot Twist and Alec. So you have like Deadman's Hand Warrior, but it's actually Warlock. You can also play this in Bombs, which is pretty annoying. You can play this in Scroll of Wonders. The possibilities? Endless. So for us, we got Stampeding Raw, which, as mentioned earlier, was used for the Anaconda Mechathun Druid deck. I will probably think about like 20-30 seconds of sentences that I can say to make this card seem fun, but I just want to say Rastakan's Rumble is such a bad expansion. It's so bad. Who wanted to have Overkill as a keyword? Nobody. It sucks. It's just so bad. So I thought maybe we just focus on Stampeding Raw, because that card is kind of fun. In the basic set, we got Charge. Why? Because it doesn't give a minion charge. It gives it rush. But if you use that and then you play Maeve and wait 2 turns, the minion that awakens actually has charge. For classic, Commanding Shout, because you used to play them Patron, I just think it's an interesting spell that nobody plays. Because you could trade and you always win the trade. Then in Rise of Shadows, I think we got Hacklebot. He has 18 different insults. So the moment you play him, there are 18 different voice lines that he can randomly say. And it's also dirty red against the minion in your opponent's deck. And you can play Oak and Summons and summon that for free. Perfect flavor. That is how a Hearthstone card should be in my opinion. That's good design, I think. Stuff like, let's make Odd Demon Hunter, I think. That's horrible design. Hearthstone team, you don't watch this, I guess. Focus on that design. Would be cool. After that, we got Sir Finley of the Sands. And that's only because Reno Paladin is not good. But you can make it a little bit better because you don't have to play Justica Druid anymore. You can just play Sir Finley and then maybe you get Demon Hunter. Also, before Demon Hunter was released, but already patched into the game, you were able to discover the Demon Hunter hero power. So that was kind of fun. And probably if there's a new class at any point, you can also discover their hero power before the actual class is released. Then we got a rogue card, Nakrio Apothecary. This is only because memes. You can play this and get a Deathwing Dragon Lord in Wild, and then if it dies, you summon all the dragons from your hand, which is like 60 mana for 5. This used to be 4 mana and really good. Now it's 5 mana and it exists. For anything in the future though, whenever there's a Death Rattle minion printed, this can target that, so there's always meme potential. For Galakon's Awakening, I only picked Amazing Reno because he's just a meme. The cards in there are either just broken or bad, and I thought Reno's at least fun, so not much to say, just random. Then we have the Demon Hunter Initiate set, and I picked Red Scale Naga because I don't really count this as a set, but it shows up as a set, so technically if you use Command the Illidarian summon 6 Rush minions and you play Red Scale, you deal 6 damage with the Rush guys and 18 with Naga, so that's 24 damage for 2 cards at 9 mana, and yeah, that's my argument. It's a fun card, it deals damage. randomly. Then we get Bulwark of Azinoth because everybody thought this one is just dust and really bad, but it turns out to be not too bad, and if you play Dead Man's Hand, you can shuffle this forever, so you never take damage. It was just fun to see that people thought this card is complete garbage, and then it turned out to be actually fine. Not many memes, but you don't take damage. And lastly, for the current expansion, I didn't tell you when I made this video right here. Today is one day before the expansion launches. Today's the 5th. There might be a bunch of better cards, a bunch of more fun or meme cards, but the expansion is not out yet, for me at least, in this time period. So I thought Professor Slate, which I also got in golden for my golden pack for free, is at least an interesting enough effect to count as a good meme card. Like, all your spells are poisonous, meaning I don't know what you do with that. Maybe you play that into a rapid fire, maybe you just disenchant this card because it's garbage. I don't know. I just know the card is probably going to be fun or really bad. And if a mage randomly gets this and uses any bot clear, well, you lost. And that is it for my list of meme cards that I personally like a lot. Now, in a couple minutes after I'm done making this video, there's going to be another video that I create, which will be released in a week or so from now, about the best design cards in my opinion that probably see no play, because why would good design ever see play? Twitch.tv/Solem, maybe you want to check that out. Maybe you want to leave a like and let me know what you think is the best meme card. Outside of the normal answer, okay? You would probably say, well, it's Ogre, it has good stats for the cost. No, it's Gruul, you fool. You gotta pick Gruul. No, Solem, no, you got it wrong. It's Yark. Haha, Yark. No, actually, for a second, okay? We have like 2,700 cards. I want to see what you can come up with. Maybe it's this card over here. I'm not sure. You can let me know. And with that being said, see you tomorrow.